Hello, everyone. Harry here to talk about the first morning of the historic New York versus Donald Trump trial. It all happened. It went off. Trump showed up, but early, about 8:30, in a crisp red tie and blue suit, and called the prosecution said to no one in particular, that it's a travesty and a terrible violation against America, but took no questions and went in. And then, as predicted by me, not by some others, there's been a morning that we haven't even gotten to jury selection yet because it's been filled with preliminary housekeeping and evidentiary matters, which is not at all unusual in a big trial. But there were efforts to revisit certain rulings, and then some controversy over the Trump Truth Social tweets and potential contempt and the like. So Trump, I had mentioned the difficulty for him just sitting there and not being controlling the action at all. And in fact, he actually fell asleep. It would appear for some part of the morning. No jurors there yet, so no big deal exactly, although seen by reporters and reported out to America. As you know, no cameras, no audio in the courtroom. But that would be bad form, when we put it that way, if it happened once prospective jurors are in the room. All right, so the evidentiary rulings that the DA wanted to confirm and Trump team wanted to fight involve the whole lead-in of this catch and kill scheme that is a overall kind of sketching out of what happens at with the Stormy Daniels. We've called it hush money, but the idea is to paint the picture that Trump campaign had taken a very heavy hit with the Access Hollywood tape, and had worried in particular about women voters. And then when Stormy Daniels' revelations came to the fore, they were all the more concerned that the thin thread they were hanging by would be cut if people knew about Stormy Daniels' accusations. So, on the other hand, it is sort of inherently salacious, tawdry, puts him in a bad light for reasons unrelated to the actual criminal charges. So the judge is, treading something of a line here. So what he's held and repeated is the Access Hollywood transcript comes in with the, notorious grab him by the genitals quote, except not in those words, and but not the tape itself he holds. So the tape itself would be a little bit too inflammatory, is the notion. That's the kind of balance. And likewise, another hold. So that's a major holding and reaffirmation for the prosecution. That was the most important evidentiary holding of the morning. But he also says for Trump, many women came out of the woodwork when that Access Hollywood tape came out, and the prosecution wanted to present them, and Merchan says no, that's too much speculation. We're not going to let in all these accusations. But Karen McDougal, she's someone who is, we're going to go back not just to Access Hollywood, but to the so-called catch and kill scheme that the National Enquirer in the person of David Pecker formulates, and that happens in the case of Karen McDougal, former Playboy model that he had allegedly an extended affair with, I think almost a year, and her tell-all account was purchased and then not published, smothered by the National Enquirer. David Pecker is going to testify about that, and Karen McDougal, I think, is going to testify about that. So there are some limits on what they can say, but that basic catch and kill scheme will be set up. This is, Trump's preparation for the elections to keep some of the bad reports about women coming out, and then the Access Hollywood tape itself and the damage that it did politically. So those are the main evidentiary rulings. Mainly go for the prosecution, but not exclusively. The other big motion, the Trump team again pushed to Merchan to recuse himself, and all they really have is his daughter and her professional activities, helping a consulting firm that represents Democrats. And Merchan, cool-headedly but firmly said that's all innuendo and speculation, and it is not enough to make me step aside. I, in fact, am not stepping aside. Okay, and then once Trump woke up, he got a pretty stern set of warnings that, we've talked about this, and the judge has sort of committed himself now to it's sort of step one that he can maybe subdivide into 3, 5, 11 steps, whatever, but it's down the road that includes a point of saying, next time, Mr. Trump, into the pokey, and then having to do it. But he told him he has a right to be here, participate in all proceedings, but if he acts up in court and doesn't observe decorum and abide by the rules of the court, he can be excluded. Does he understand that? Yes. And he can be, if he acts up, put in jail for contempt. Does he understand that? And he says he does. So Merchan coming out with a pretty firm set of warnings to him to kind of set up the potential for a firm hand if Trump starts acting up in court, which kind of got to think he will, but we'll see when and how that happens. So that's the first morning of trial. I think in the afternoon we'll see the first set of they'll be questioned 18 at a time. And the judge also did specify they'll go through their questionnaires, and then there'll be 30-minute questioning by each side of the jurors, and then if there's follow-up, 20 minutes, and that's of the whole 18 that are in the box at a time. You'll go through that whole process, and then they'll have challenges, and then there'll be some jurors left standing, and they will be seated as the first jurors in the trial of New York versus Trump. So there you have it, morning one of a historic proceeding against a former president of the United States. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.